Alright, everyone. Welcome to the 2024 Charity Vigil podcast, also known as Charicast. We have a pretty interesting lineup for you today. Some returning members, some new members.
Who's new? I guess Jorja?
I am new to the Charicast.
Fine.
I need to speak directly into the microphone, apparently. That's a thing.
It's because he's new to this.
I am new to the podcast. I have been at the event the last 3 years, but I have avoided the podcast.
Who do we have
It
here?
scares me.
Please state your name, your mother's maiden name, your the numbers on the...
So my social security card number is now... so I'm Chris. My mother's maiden name
My
is...
social security card number is
My
3.
social security number is...
I have
yeah,
the third
Chris,
one.
pronouns he, they.
Excellent work, Chris. How about everyone else? Hi, my name is Patrick. I'm currently working off of a, what's the fucking word?
Yeah, that's what you're working off.
Honors in history. My favorite subject is history. And one special thing about myself is that I read books. You can't claim that now.
Oh, fuck, I was gonna say that one.
have to do a special fact.
It's just a way of...
My name's John. My pronouns are he, him, except when I'm at the bathroom during a podcast, in which case they become ambiguous and no one can remember. This is a reference.
Go
The
piss go.
reference.
What did you do, John?
So, never mind. I've referenced this in the last podcast as well. I studied psychology, and a special fact about me is that, there's like 7 different facts swirling in my head, and I can't pick one. Is that I have a guitar.
Shit.
So it's not that you like Homestuck.
It's not very special. Everyone likes Homestuck.
Oh no, we're about maybe
yeah.
a couple minutes in and already the dreaded webcomic has been mentioned.
The webcomic. I'm on like 5 hours of sleep, which is fucking terrible for me because I've been sleeping so well recently. I've been getting like 10 hours of sleep on average, like 9.5 maybe. And my body, I've been loving it. And now I've like woken up like after 5 hours of sleep and my body is like, you've betrayed me.
At least you slept, bud.
True.
I never sleep
True.
on the job.
I've immediately forgotten what the questions are.
I mean,
Despite having 5 hours of sleep, you have slept the most out of all of us.
you don't necessarily have to
You're
introduce
so-
I
yourself,
want
but
to
it would
be
be
good.
nice.
I want to get a good grade in podcast. Please help me. I'm Ash, I guess. I'm currently studying teaching with specializations in mathematics and visual arts. At the moment, my special hobby is the Ace Attorney screenings here every Tuesday. Got to promo it.
True.
I don't know what else to talk about. I'm very tired. I don't know if you can tell.
Hi, very tired. I'm John.
I'm going to hit you.
That's my line.
We get it, bud.
It's also
Chill
mine.
out.
You stole that joke from me in the fucking piffle. No, piffle.
I think John has slept
You
too
may
much.
remember Ash from their brief appearances on Charicast.
I believe it was
I believe it was
2023.
Charicast 2023.
Yeah.
Amity's here, but doing. We'll let her be.
She's just eepy.
She's EP, but not sleeping legally.
She's awake, just eepy.
Who's next?
I'm Jorja.
Hi, Jorja.
She there. I'm doing biomed for now. Yeah, a fact about me. I'm running the UniSFA Instagram, guys. Go follow it at
You guys
UniSFA
have an
_
Instagram?
UWA.
Guys, go follow UniSFA unofficial on TikTok.
Don't do
I
that.
uninstalled
Not affiliated.
TikTok, but you should still follow
Oh,
it.
I'm Bryce, he, they. I'm operating on no sleep in 24 hours, which is fun. Fun fact about me.
You may remember Bryce from the podcast we did like a month ago.
True.
it really wasn't that far back.
Uh-huh.
It feels like so long ago as well.
It feels
Um,
like just yesterday.
Fun fact about me.
But I guess yesterday seems so far away.
I don't have
So I
any
was
fun
listening to
facts.
the Beatles on the way here.
I can't think of anything. Oh, and I'm studying technical anthropology.
Do you have any unfun facts?
I can sort of dislocate my joints if I put effort in.
Yeah, don't.
Please don't do that.
Please,
I have
beg.
my unfun fact is I own a guitar.
Also,
My unfun
Chris,
fact
what
is
are
I-
you studying, bud? We didn't hear what you're studying.
Chris is studying nerd shit.
Yeah, it's nerd shit. I'm doing maths and stats.
Sev, it's $5 entry. Do you want to come in, bud?
If you want to join the podcast, you have to pay.
We're truly gatekeeping this now.
Join
Seb is claiming I've
us.
stolen their spot, despite the fact I've been here for like
Join
half
us.
an hour and they've not been in the
Just
room
to
the
make
entire time.
Patrick's life Hellraiser.
For they claim they went to the toilet for half an hour. Big ass piss.
This is so true, but also, girl, you've been longer than half an hour.
So, how about the weather, eh?
The sun is
You
rising.
gotta pay.
That's
you
it.
gotta pay.
Of like all the topics, the weather.
We've literally all been inside since like 4 p.m.
Actually, I don't know if anybody else except for John knows about the weather.
It's sunny, I think.
True. Yeah, like it looks like sun's peeking through the blinds. Like as far as we know.
No, that's just the floodlights.
The weather says it is
Floodlights are not.
mostly cloudy today.
Rip the sun.
R.I.P.
Oh,
the
that
sun.
was an
The sun
excellent
was
joke, Seb,
great,
but
guys.
none of us could
You should
hear
have been
it.
there
It's
to
not
see the
going on
sun
the
explode.
podcast.
Rip Earth then.
Haha, there we go.
Haha, very funny, Mark.
I am being very helpful in the corner here. Mwah, ha 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 ha.
So, what do we think of Tommy Wiseau's film The Room, starring Tommy Wiseau, directed by Tommy Wiseau, written by Tommy Wiseau, lighting by the guy I fucking hate?
Respectfully, what and who?
Oh, have
So
you
don't
have
know
you
The
not heard
Room,
of The
starring
Room?
Tommy Wiseau, directed by
Respectfully,
Tommy Wiseau?
I've never seen this film before in my life.
Yeah,
so,
well, respectfully, you're missing out, bud.
It is.
Yeah.
It is one of the movies of
The
all
Room
time.
screening,
You
maybe.
can't speak on the podcast if you don't pay money. Sev hates charity.
Sev, you now have to pay $5. You've
Yes.
spoken on the podcast, bud.
That's
Come
why I'm
on,
speaking
pay up,
into
pay
the
up, pay up.
Absolutely binding.
Oh god, this
It's
is
so much fun being on this couch because we're just
You're
causing
gonna need to move that
problems.
mic over.
No.
Ezran, introduce yourself.
Anyone have anything interesting that's happened to them in like the last week or so? I have no clue what's.
I played a bunch of video games that were pretty interesting. I played Firewatch twice because I played it and then and then I posted about how the twist kind of disappointed me, and then I played it again, but with developer commentary, so it's different. I think more games should have developer commentary, like Half-Life 2: The Lost Coast.
Agreed.
And I played Oxenfree, which is an interesting game. Sev,
Really? Tell me more.
per
I'm gonna
commentary.
pay $10, John, for you to spend the next 10 minutes only reading out lines from that copy of Divergent down there.
Okay. A few clarifying questions. One, does it have to be in order?
No.
Okay, cool.
It can be any order you choose, just so long
Is
as
any
it's lines of dialogue from Divergent.
Wait,
I'm gonna take
dialogue, or
$10.
does it? Or is
Can
it
we-
specific, like any text, or just specifically things characters say?
The guy said
Things
dialogue.
characters say. Already showing initiative. I haven't even paid yet.
Practicing.
I will put in $3 extra if you only do it in response to any question. Doesn't matter what the question is. You just have to act as if it's the perfectly valid response.
Please agree to this.
Why don't,
This would
how
be
about?
funny.
Can we perhaps have it so I have to respond to any question, but I
That
can
doesn't
say
sound
things otherwise?
Is that line in the books, John?
Well, the
No.
money hasn't been paid yet. I'm just like clarifying. So, is it that you only want me to respond to questions, or that I have to respond to questions? Is basically what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like, can I talk outside of responding to questions, Sev?
no.
No, basically, that's just how you're going to talk from now on.
So I can,
Well, for,
for
10
10
minutes.
So I
anyway.
can only respond to questions using quotes from Divergent.
Pretty much.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, have fun, bud.
Your
So,
time
John,
starts now.
what are your thoughts on climate change?
Hellions.
So true, bestie.
What is the meaning of life?
Just do what you're supposed to.
Is this now 10 minutes of asking John questions? Because I don't know how
Yes.
good of content that is.
No.
I mean, no.
Hey, John, which one is better, the Hunger Games or the Divergent series?
I had a difficult day at work.
What is your favorite comic book character?
Rita, calm down, Rita.
Rita, I hardly know her.
Anyway, yeah.
So what about that weather, eh?
Ignore
gonna
him.
say,
He's an
anyone got
idiot,
anything
and if you don't get
interesting?
angry, he'll stop eventually.
I mean, I suppose I will ask, what event have people had the most fun at tonight?
I lost to Drew after your fight with Peter. I took a few hits, fell down, and stayed there, even though I didn't have to. I figure that since I beat Will, if I lose all the rest, I won't be ranked lost, but I won't have to hurt anyone anymore.
So wait, John, just to clarify, was that a recounting of your match in Nidhogg?
Ew.
So I'm gonna guess Nidhogg is John's answer, or
You about done, Stiff?
Anyway, back to the question at hand. What's everyone liked about Charity Vigil?
I mean, I personally like the fact that I got a free haircut.
Harry's D&D campaign where we punch a crocodile to death with 2 attacks. In fiction, I will add.
That was a one-shot. Campaigns are ongoing. But slay.
There goes your pretty face. Oh wait, you don't have one.
Ouch.
Ironically, that was actually a quote from the one-shots. There was literally a point where we turned into just insulting NPCs.
I thought Lan was pretty good at the start. I had a lot of fun.
Did someone start a timer?
Is that a quote from the book?
Yeah, is that from the book,
Oh,
bud?
I don't know. She could be hiding something under that towel. Why don't we look and see?
I just sound like we're gonna call this 10-minute segment the bullying John segment.
Oh, we can do that the whole time.
True.
John, what do you say to these allegations of bullying?
A little what?
What?
You can't just say that.
Go easy on me, okay?
We're going to need some clarification on what easy is.
I make no promises.
Why do I get the feeling John is actually reading the book anymore?
Hey John, what's your favorite Beatles song?
Was that a birthmark I saw on your left butt cheek? God, you're pale, stiff.
Yeah, I was really interested in that song too. The lyrics were quite profound.
Can we get some more details on that birthmark?
I think you should leave.
Yes, what about you, Chris? What's your favorite event?
I want to give you some advice about today. If by some miracle your families do come to visit you, which I doubt.
I don't think you were asked a question.
A question was asked. Which I doubt. It is best not to seem too attached. That will make it easier for you and easier for them. We also take the phrase faction before blood very seriously here. Attachment to your family says you aren't entirely pleased with your faction, which would be shameful. Understand?
So, one of my favorite things that I was doing at the Charity Vigil today was I actually learned how to play the board game Fog of Love for the first time. It's actually really fun.
Slay.
And not built to be played by more than one group of people.
Yeah, that's kind of just how that is.
What's that you got there, Sev?
4.
Well, it looks like a book, I think. I could be wrong. Becca Cooper and Tamora Pierce?
Becca Cooper is the character.
Memory.
What? Becca Cooper is the main character of that series. That's the name of the series. I mean, I
can't-
understood it when I was like 10.
Oh,
Is it
That
bad that I
was not
can't
meant to come
agree with
out so
both of you
savagely.
simultaneously?
Shade.
My favorite event was me accidentally breaking the Unigames ice cube tray. It made me feel the most.
How?
I dropped it
It's
and
so
it shattered a
new.
bit.
It still works.
Insane? No.
It does still work. It's completely fine, but it
Sure.
was exhilarating. I didn't do it on purpose.
So karaoke unleashed the theatre kids in the last couple of hours.
It does that every
Lots of
time.
Hamilton crying.
yeah.
It was only 4 Hamilton songs.
Are you just gonna read throughout the whole podcast, Sev?
Don't speak to my mother that way. Don't say another word to her. I swear I will break your nose.
Look here, you, whoever you are. I am not a scratching post.
Oh, I see how it
Join
is.
the chaos now.
2 people quoting books of one
I
another.
am finding a book so I can join in on this chaos. This seems fun. Yo ha 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 ha.
I mean, you can just pay to do that for the spirit of charity.
So
I think
true.
if it's self-imposed, it doesn't even need to be charitable.
If I pay
people can be a
$2,
bit wacky
who wants to
themselves.
randomly
True.
sign me a book from somewhere in the room?
At my expense.
Actually, I'd say one of the old Piffle books has some really interesting text in it.
Oh, sure, I will do this for charity because charity rocks.
Wait, I'll be doing like lines of dialogue or just bits of text?
I hope so.
Oh.
Sometimes it helps to be small. I'm not sure I convinced the erudite, though.
What is the erudite, John?
What is it?
Interesting cat he is.
Yeah, pretty cool cat.
Jorja has just handed me Piffle 2003. So, this is going to be an experience for all of us because I have never looked at this before.
Piffle used to cost money, guys. It says $5 on the front.
Huh.
It costs money to print things, and we used to let members buy them, and I think we should do it again.
You
Kind of
can be
valid.
a girl.
There was no question there.
Inspirational quotes. John,
question was, how much
2024.
One day, there was a slug named Harvey.
Good.
Puppy, what have you been rolling in?
It's not funny. Well, okay, maybe it is a little.
So the radio wakes me up.
Okay, guys, I think we must have some sort of parameter here.
I think this might be the worst podcast anyone has ever listened to.
this is so true.
I'm gonna have to edit this. I'm gonna
There's
have to-
nothing for you to edit. There's no structure here.
No, actually, that could be part of the thing. We could actually make this like unedited, live and uncut,
Unfiltered?
streamed directly to your auditory holes.
Okay, so we're gonna have to edit that one out.
Two things you should know about me. The first is that I'm deeply suspicious of people in general. It is my nature to expect the worst of them, and the second is that I'm unexpectedly good with computers. This is basically your average UCC member. Anyway, I'm free from Divergent prison. I got up to page 375. What's the last piece of dialogue in this book?
I love that part of Divergent where they said it's Divergent
Fine.
time.
Then I love you. So
Okay.
passionate.
Oh, thanks, John.
Dramatic.
Spoilery there.
Thanks, John.
For Divergent, the book everyone wants to read.
Okay,
So
but
true.
like, Lexi donated it, and she doesn't want it back. And
Yeah,
we also
nobody
don't
wants
really
it.
want that copy.
Nobody
I-
wants it. It's been there for so long. Nobody's picked it up.
I believe it's the
If
only
Lexi
thing
doesn't want
left.
it, you know
I
that's
think it is
really
the
screwed
remaining
up.
book in the
wait,
free
no,
book.
no. There's a Where's Wally over there.
Where?
Lies, I lie. Sorry.
The Jangler. So, how about it, eh?
How about what?
How's the weather?
Let's just say by it, I mean, the
Anyone
weather.
been reading anything good recently?
Seven's fucking, like, died from that.
And no, John, Divergent doesn't count as
I
that.
unfortunately know
In
what
the
you're
strip
referencing
club,
there.
straight up, how is it? And by it, I mean, the weather.
You can't just say that.
You can't say that.
John, you
No
should've
way.
submitted that.
Anyway, I was playing Oxenfree, which is a really interesting game, especially because it's like a supernatural teen mystery, you know. You and 4 other teens on an island, spooky stuff's going on. And at 3 points in the game, you talk to a player who has finished the game, theoretically. I was playing it like 7 years after it released or something, so like this didn't always work. But there's 3 points in the game where you are next
Hey,
to
John.
like a reflective surface, and you on the reflective surface will
John.
be a
Hey,
different
bud, hey,
version of
bud.
the character.
Patrick has something to say to you.
Will be a version of the
No, 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 no.
You have been silenced for 5 minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna go piss.
Georgia did that, not
Go
me.
piss, girl.
Dead. Gone forever.
John left the room very
Has anybody
salty.
else here played
Um,
Oxenfree? Because I was actually really interested in that.
I've never even heard of it.
This is so
Nope.
sad.
It sounds like Scooby Doo though. And now I've got the What's New Scooby Doo thing stuck on loop in my mind, which is an experience.
I haven't played it, but I've seen it. It's a sort of side-scrolling puzzle game with ghosts.
You probably want to get a
Pretty
little
much sums it
closer to
up.
the mic there, bud.
Spoopy.
It's a spooky ghost game.
Okay, that's overcompensating.
What?
Look at that audio
Oh,
spike,
can you be a little bit
baby.
louder? I didn't quite hear
You
that.
can tell when John's talking.
Jenkins!
Yeah, you really can.
Jenkins!
Look how small our spikes are.
I know,
Like,
because we
zoink,
don't
Scoop.
scream into the microphone.
I
We
think
talk
I
at a
see a
normal
ghost.
volume.
I mean, we could
So
if you
Patrick,
wanted.
how would you rate this Charicast on 1 to 10? 1 being
It's
it's an
funny
experience
because
to
I don't-
10 awesome.
I think it's funny because I don't seem to remember the other ones.
Ouch.
Can
And
we please
hopefully, with time, this will just like be the. This will be just like the other ones. and
Can I
I'll
move
cease
to
remembering
rename the
things like this.
podcast Make Patrick Suffer for 3 hours?
Don't be mean to my
You do
bud
not look happy
Patrick,
about that
okay?
suggestion.
We do not bully Patrick.
Editing takes longer than 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, no, he will be suffering.
Don't make me silence you, bud. Don't you bully my fellow OCM. I will fight you.
What?
I
In Minecraft.
I think I've missed something or you've missed something, and I don't know which way.
Why am
it
I
is.
suffering?
Bryce just suggested that we name the podcast Making Patrick Suffer for like 2 hours.
I mean,
I defended
pay
you,
enough
bro.
money.
Cough it up.
I mean, yeah, but
Like-
also rip.
It can be the subtitle, I guess.
So I really like the Bethesda Elder Scrolls lore with absolutely no problems.
It's so sad because Chris and I are only sharing one mic, yet we can very clearly have this conversation for hours.
If you all want separate mics,
For the
That-
record, that was a joke. I do have some problems with the Bethesda lore.
you can have your moment.
Just gotta pay for it. Capitalism, baby.
True.
Oh no, I was just trying to make Patrick suffer.
I mean,
Rip.
you could make me suffer by shutting me up or something. Like you had to pick one specific topic that you know I'd be bursting at the seams to talk about, and then just you can't talk for
I
5
feel
minutes.
bad for Patrick at this point. Sorry,
You
Patrick.
can talk about it if you want to.
Ooh, you want to talk
I
about
don't
it
know
so
what you
bad.
like,
You can
Patrick.
talk about
Favorite Beatles song?
I
Chris is grabbing
don't
his
really have a
wallet.
lot of them. I think they're kind of shit.
You could also change it
That's all the
to
listeners.
Homestuck too, and it'll be John.
Yeah, but John's left, so rip.
Don't ask John about Homestuck. Oh God,
Please don't, I beg.
I will pay money to stop you from asking
We-
John about Homestuck. I don't
Either
know
that
how
or
much.
I will continue to silence John.
Uh-oh. Don't
He
bring it up.
returns.
Don't bring it up.
Oh, hi, John.
This is my
Nothing
spot
happened
now.
while you left, bud. I don't know, Patrick, what do you like?
I like sunsets and,
Long walks on the beach.
yeah, you know, really romantic evenings.
Touching
you know.
grass,
But do you like pina coladas?
I've never
getting
actually
caught
had
in the
one.
rain.
Neither have I.
It's very interesting because none of that will be heard in the mics.
It might be a tiny bit.
Crying.
Good thing that doesn't get heard on the mics because I don't know if we can afford to put that in.
Nobody's gonna know. How would they know?
I think YouTube knows.
I don't think it was. You think it was close enough for it to pick it up?
Oh, I hope not.
You think it was in pitch enough for YouTube to pick it up?
It was less than 6 seconds. We're fine.
Hey, Chris, I've heard that you're a bit of a fan of the video game Baldur's Gate 3.
Ooh.
Would you like to talk about it for a little bit?
It's a good game.
See, here's the thing. You've asked me a very important question. One that I may not ever be able to answer. So, Baldur's Gate 3.
It's a game.
It's one of
Correct.
the games ever. I really enjoy it. There's good things and bad things.
My 5 minutes is up. Personally, I like the flowers. I like the daffodils.
The interrupter can be interrupted too. Continue, Chris.
So
Go,
true.
Chris, go. Go. Quick.
We've got you.
Grab the mic, run!
I like
Hide the microphone.
mountain. I like the road.
No.
John, please stop.
We can't afford the
John's
copyright.
assaulting me with his
John,
cardigan.
don't make me pay more money. I will donate more money to charity, bud.
Con-
I'll do it. Don't
Continue
make me.
talking about Baldur's Gate 3 unless Chris wants me to talk about Oxenfree more.
John being
Oh
the
no!
reason why
As soon as you
charity
left,
makes
I
money.
literally said, like, I would like to hear more about Oxford.
Yeah, I
That does
heard.
sound very
I heard.
interesting.
I felt that was very nice of you to say. It made me feel nice.
Have you spent all this money for nothing? I mean, for charity, but I mean, like, we're now full circle. Because now,
So the
'Cause-
thing
'cause now
about
John-
Oxenfree is that
now
you know,
John's
it's your
talking about.
typical, like, it has like your choices matter thing where you have to like make dialogue decisions across and then that affects things.
But Baldur's Gate 3. Chris,
no, I'll be really quick.
We have several hours. Don't worry.
But at the several points in the game, you are visited by a reflection, which
Sorry, bud. You're gonna have to stop it there.
Can I be evil and use the velocity doors to silence him for
So if
another
you haven't
5
heard about
minutes?
Baldur's Gate 3, you've probably been living under a rock for like the last 6 months.
It's definitely longer than that because the last time I played it was before last semester.
Oh my
But
gosh.
But also,
it's
if you
been out
haven't
so
heard
long.
about it, it was the Prosh theme for UniSFA and Unigame. So you should have at least heard about it, guys.
True, yeah. Baldur's Gate's cool. The original Baldur's Gates I never actually played, but I'm trying to get around to playing. But the new one's quite good. Just recently, I think Larian have like come out and said that they're not going to do any DLC or release a new Baldur's Gate game, which, you know, it's a shame, but also it's good to see that they're doing the stuff that they actually want to do.
I'm sorry. I'm just including an editor's note because I just wanted to let people, the listeners, know about the fact that John is currently coping and seething.
He's also undressing.
Rip John.
Anyway, do you have anything else to say about Baldur's Gate 3?
It comes after Baldur's Gate 2.
So
does
true,
that come
buddy.
after?
Shock.
So intelligent.
Smartest person in the room.
What's that you're playing there, Seth?
I'm not playing anything. I'm on a website.
Oh, no. But you were on something earlier. You were playing something earlier, right?
I can't read.
The website looks like some kind
You're
of.
So what are you
controlling,
looking
like,
at on
like
a
normal
website?
person running around, like a Jorja.
Sorry, miss. I was on Google. I wasn't playing games during class, miss.
Oh, the amount of times I've bloody heard it.
So, Civ, Chris, and Patrick are now the same person? Question mark.
They've merged.
No, they just share a brain cell.
Between 3 people at this point.
It's very smooth.
Correct.
I do like how at the thought of misbehaving in class, we all regress into like Victorian school children.
That's so
Miss,
true.
miss. I don't know what I'm trying to say at this point, miss.
sir.
Sir, I promise I wasn't doing anything like playing games.
I wasn't going on coolmathgames.com.
Oh, I miss cool
It was
maths for
free of-
kids.
Miss, I don't know what you allegations about me playing
Friv.
games mean. I was simply googling what a game is on Cool Maths Games.
But miss, I wasn't talking to my friend.
The internet simply wasn't working, and there was this little dinosaur. What can I say?
But for real, Cool Math Games was the GOAT. I
Oh,
have so
yeah,
many
for
good
real.
ones.
Agreed.
No, it was free. I will
Yeah,
die
but
on
like
this hill.
my school banned it at some stage,
Fireboy and
crying.
Wario.
Oh yeah, like they
Yeah.
tried to ban
Yeah,
it
yeah,
at
yeah.
my school, but somehow we all got around it.
The lady door.
So true. They can never ban us from Cool Maths Games.
I remember almost after I had surgery on one of my eardrums, I would have been about in my late teenage years, probably about 17 or something like that. I wanted to know whether Cool Math Games was still around, and so I booted it up on like the little hospital tablet that they sometimes have, you know, when you're recovering from surgery and stuff. And so I booted up Cool Math Games on that tablet, and it still worked.
Slay. We love to see it. Does
Can
it?
confirm
Did it
Cool
die
Maths
with
Games is
Flash?
still up as of the recording of this video.
I guess it must.
No, I think the website's still running. I just think basically every education department server has.
Blocked it?
Blocked it.
Yes, they have.
There are proxy
They worked it
sites,
out.
I can
Yeah.
confirm.
Okay, but it's like Cool Maths Games, learning and stuff, right? Right?
Unfortunately,
Unless
that is not how the department see it.
unless
Sad.
Math in the games.
it was
I-
part
I
of a
was
greater
Friv kid.
conspiracy.
Cool Maths Game conspiracy. Dun, dun, dun.
Perhaps there's a small piece in a much larger puzzle.
To be fair, most of the kids just play like Run or Run 2 with like the little alien thing. And it's
Oh.
like, that's not math. please do your work.
I usually went for Block Sorks, you know, the one with the
Oh, like the
Yeah,
the
the-
tower and
the-
you like flip.
yeah, you gotta
that's so
get it down the
valid.
hole. Yeah.
It's a great description, I know.
They re-released Cool Math Games under a new name, Sick Physics Games.
Time to tell the mentor teacher.
Oh, Chris, actually, I want to hear your opinion. Is it true that the people behind Cool Math Games are also responsible for the big conspiracies surrounding maths these days? That is to say, big number.
John is now free from his hell that is 5 minutes
I did
silence.
some research, and by that I just meant I typed in coolmathgames.com and it still exists, which no one thought of doing. Also,
Can I be evil?
Bryce said Sev earlier, but I heard it as Civ, so now I'm thinking about civilization.
In my defense,
Seven.
I have an online friend whose name is Civ, and I got
So-
the names temporarily mixed
So,
up.
basically, players
Sorry,
from the
Seb.
future visit you and then give you advice on like decisions to make, like important ones. There's 3 of them. They usually
No, I've got a really funny idea. Okay, no,
they
Georgia,
usually tell a person to do this, tell them not to do this,
John?
or make their own decision.
I just
Instead of
silenced
paying
you
out
again
too
for 5
but
minutes.
I just thought it was a really interesting game mechanic.
I've got an idea, which is
Bryce has used his remaining $2 of credit to silence you for another 5 minutes.
Can we
bud.
like make this a
Nuh-uh.
bit more expensive?
Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh.
Okay.
It wasn't me this time, I
It's us
promise.
again.
We're back.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna spend $2 to take the mic for 5 minutes. There's just 5 minutes of silence.
Why are we getting dragged into this?
Go off, I guess.
Okay, 5 minutes where no one can talk but me, but I can't talk. Starting now.
You can't just shake your head in a microphone.
John, I'm paying $2 for you to be able to speak
You
now.
can't make that noise.
Chris, you fucking legend. Hey,
I'm
you're
the gate to
silenced.
that.
You're silenced. I paid money to charity. Sorry, I'm gonna
negates-
pay $1 to unsilence Chris for a minute.
This is the whole.
I think this is a flawed system we need to rework.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm abusing it.
You see, I'm benefiting from this system.
but it's so fun.
I think we've just given up, guys. Clearly, no one is respecting either of the payments.
Okay, so John now has the right to speak. So
No one
does
else
Chris.
Well, I need to pay you the money.
Once payment. Everyone else
Chris,
has
but
to
only
shut up.
Chris, only for a minute though.
So tell me more about Oxenfree.
Yeah,
John.
baby.
Oxenfree, there's guys in it.
Okay, so as I was saying, Oxenfree, there's guys in it. So yeah, you can like people give you advice later. I think only one actual player did, and the rest were just random NPCs, or like things. It was a pretty good game, like good little mystery. I had to do a lot of walking and collect the collectibles, which was kind of annoying. I don't really have too much to say about it, like without spoiling it. Like you play as Alex, who has a friend and a new stepbrother and you're stuck on an island with your best friend, your new stepbrother who you don't know very well, the person who used to date your dead brother, and the girl who is friends with that person who used to date your dead brother, and also your best friend has a crush on. So of course, and then like mysteries happen, and there's also teen angst and feelings in between that, and it's just well written. It's also really cool because you get like a radio and you can like tune it to different signals, and then like spooky shit happens at certain signals, and it's required to like hear certain things and like unlock doors and like get clues for things. At a certain point you like unlock a better radio, and you can now find notes left by the last inhabitant of the island. And where you if you tune into a certain signal, it'll give you a hint on where the note is. That's what my Discord status right now is, which is everything becomes an Alpha, November, Tango, Indio, Quebec, Uniform, Echo, eventually, which spells out antique. And it basically is saying, hey, on this level, the note's by the antique shop. But I found it really cool, especially because I'm there with a pencil, like having to decode this shit to try and find like these notes and figure out the mystery. And I think it like helped me get a better ending too. So, yeah, Oxenfree, if you like teen supernatural mystery thriller kind of thing, bit of psychological horror content, but it's quite light. There's no like. Chris, did your time? You guys have 40 seconds. How does it feel, Jorja? How does it feel? This is kind of weird now. I wish I unmuted Chris for longer rather than a minute where I spoke the entire time. So how about the weather, eh? I'll just stop reading Divergent. There is one mirror in my house. It is behind a sliding panel in the hallway upstairs. Our faction allows me to stand in front of it on the second day of every third. Do you guys remember Minecraft factions? Do you guys remember faction servers?
So I do think this is just the Stanley Parable button bit, but
okay, the
in
timer's up,
podcast
guys.
form.
We can all talk again.
So how is it talking to yourself, bud?
Huh? I do it every day. Yeah,
Does someone have a
I'm not
phone
normal,
charger? My
Batman.
phone is basically dead right now.
Sorry, say that again.
Does anyone have a phone charger on them?
What
did
kind
also-
of charger?
Discord, but no one
Take
has.
your ass back to the phone charger store.
No one else has their phone.
Okay, let me open my Discord.
Riveting content.
You posted this in general chat.
Why? Why? I just want
What
to
was I
know
meant to ask?
why. What kind of
Hashtag
charger is
podcast?
it?
Question mark?
What charger do you need? We need to get to the bottom of this.
A phone?
Supernatural mystery.
A phone one?
So I
There are
think
different
A
types of
phone
phone
one.
chargers, bud.
Phone
Okay, different
charger
types of
of
phones
sorts
have different
in
kind of
a
chargers.
different
DJ
room, so I
podcast
guess
Apple
straight up
like-
not
ecosystem
charging
has
it, and by
different
it I mean
charges to other
my
ecosystems.
phone.
Okay, so Chris does actually have a phone charger.
Okay, but like, is it the one that you need?
What kind of phone do you have? Is it
Is
an
it a
iPhone? Is it a
USB-C port?
Samsung? It's
So
probably
I would assume
USB-C.
USB-C.
Probably.
Is it smooth or does it
Slim.
have like a little shape, like a pointy shape?
No, guys, it's USB-CE now. Okay, they changed the
Smooth.
date system.
Ah,
Taking this away.
Chris, do you have a USB-C charger? We love you.
it's not on me right now. It's in the other room.
We hate you.
Dare I say, go to the other room.
I my iPad charger is probably somewhere.
For a bunch of nerds, how do we not
I
know what
can't be
charges
bothered.
which?
We know. Bryce doesn't.
I am not a tech person. I think I've said this before. I know nothing about these things.
Picture of the Riddler in the Batman, except that's Bryce. Does he know? Bracket phone charger.
He
I
asked
jingle
where would I
back.
plug it, but
I do want
Really?
to say,
Jingle jingles
More
back.
meant because I think the charger put is near amateur users
In the
sleep
club
right
room,
now.
straight up jingling.
Sorry.
I do want to
All
say,
day,
I
every
think
day,
this
bro.
might be our most experimental podcast.
This is the
to
most
date.
fucked up podcast that I'm aware of, but to be fair, I've actually never been to a Charicast or an un-Charicast.
Have you listened to them?
No comment.
Oh no!
Fake fan.
I've listened to pieces. I listened to parts of one so I could listen to Jackie. And that was about it.
we love you, Jackie.
We do love
Yeah,
Jackie.
shout out to Jackie.
Jackie's listening to
Jackie's
this, I love you.
great. I'm
Come on.
adding this for no
Jackie,
reason
Jack-
at this point.
Jackie love.
Jackie, if you're listening to this, can you convince Ezran to listen to the rest of those podcasts. Thank you.
Oh, so John, Ariaman wanted you to try a very special mocktail. Are you gonna drink it at some stage?
What, milk and salsa?
Yep.
I'll drink it as long as I don't have to pay for any of the components.
Oh, can I try?
Because the thing about like doing stupid drinks is I have to spend like $6 on like or like $8 on overpriced stuff. I'll fucking do it. It's gonna be like boring as shit. Because like
Did you just call salsa a soft drink? I'm really sorry, but I had to catch that one.
No.
And milk?
No, the thing is, like, if someone wants me to drink a stupid thing, I will. Like, but, like, the thing is, I'm not going to pay for it. Because a lot of the time, like, when I did drink stupid things, it was expensive, is what I'm saying.
Do you not generically just have milk?
I have milk, but you know what? You have to buy the milk for me. Like, I'm not using my own milk for this. That's a waste of milk. That's like $6.
Actually,
in
this makes me think.
Cost of living crisis.
We could do a science experiment and see which flavored milk tastes the worst with salsa in it, because why not
Experiment.
at this point?
It's
I
spearmint.
do have to ask out of curiosity.
In general.
Is salsa a soup or a sauce?
Technically, it's a chutney. If we're going off the stereotypical definition
yeah,
of
it's a
all
chutney.
three.
That's actually what I was gonna say. I hate to say it, but we were on the same wavelength there.
No, I was just copying Bryce. Can I pay $10 to do the song intros thing that I did for the last cast? I only have $10.
I don't feel like I know.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's not. I might not be enough.
New gimmick, new podcast, new
No,
gimmick.
but no, I like this gimmick though. It was really fun.
You're just gonna make me do loads of work.
It wasn't that much. Honestly, like, it was like.
I have no idea what songs I should.
Just
How
like,
about John
think about
suggest
it.
some?
I mean, I'm
don't know.
guessing Ezran something Hamilton related.
Just use like the same ones for like the people who were here last time. Like, just use like Pip Hop Step for Bryce again.
I was gonna say maybe just set a smaller parameter of like every person is kind of a lot, especially because we all kind of started at basically the same time.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to give like just. It was funny in the last cast. If you listen to it, like the first 30 seconds, the first like 2 minutes is like mostly just intro music. It's like, hi guys, I'm 10-second music clip John, and here is 10-second music clip Merlin, and 10-second music clip Josh, and 10-second music clip Patrick, and 10-second
Are you
music
just
clip
kind
Bryce.
of naming everyone who's appeared in that podcast?
Did y'all do introductions this time? Because I was not in the room.
Yes.
My ass was not in the room.
I did ask you when you entered, bud.
I didn't hear you.
Would you like to introduce yourself now? It might be too late,
I
but
don't know
mean,
who I am. I'm sorry.
Sometimes
Just
I
sad.
still
I
do
am
those
Ezran. I am
voice.
the vice president of UniSFA.
I love that. Did we do introductions? I don't know who I am.
in the podcast, straight up introducing it, and by it I mean haha who.
So a complete hard pivot in topic. So we were talking in
The
the
weather,
other room earlier about post-breakfast clarity.
I mean, what about post-Brexit clarity, eh? You know, let's get a bit political here, eh? What a
politics?
mistake, eh?
No politics in my podcast. Just
go back to
kidding.
breakfast.
Fuck capitalism. Kill Jeff Bezos and also eat the rich. They're
So-
all the same sentence.
We were trying to work out, like, because when you eat breakfast, you sometimes feel more awake after, and
Yes.
sometimes it doesn't help.
Yes.
So post-breakfast clarity could be a thing.
Question: so is post-breakfast clarity? What is it? Is it like feeling more awake after eating breakfast?
Yes.
I feel like it depends how much breakfast you eat. Because if you eat a big breakfast, you know, you're
a
gonna be
big breakfast,
sleepy.
you might actually be eepy. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be eepy.
But
you need a food nap.
we were thinking about it more, and we realized that it is more complex than that.
Okay, how so?
The 5 stages of grief directly apply to breakfast.
Is this just like that song about like regretting getting a big breakfast again?
Huh?
Because that song doesn't apply to me at all. I never regret getting a
I'm
big
curious.
breakfast.
How do these 5 steps relate to breakfast? I'm genuinely
Okay,
curious at this point.
step number 1, denial. I'm not gonna eat breakfast today. Then you get hungry.
Hi.
Step 2, grief. Oh fuck, breakfast. Step 3, bargaining. I wonder if I can get Macca's for breakfast. Step number 4, anger. Step number Step number 4, depression. Oh fuck, breakfast.
Chris, I just paid $1 for you to have a minute to talk about the breakfast thing.
Step number 5, acceptance. Breakfast.
I mean, this is pretty much it. I mean, the first stage is denial. You deny the fact that you need breakfast. You might not actually need breakfast. You still deny it. Second stage is anger. Who wants to make breakfast? No one wants to make breakfast. Some people want to make breakfast. They're wrong. Bargaining. You're in the middle of making breakfast and you're cutting corners. You're finding ways to get around the fact that you have to make breakfast. Stage 4 is depression. At this point, you've realized you're actually just going to have to make the breakfast. And this leads directly into acceptance of actually making your breakfast. And this also applies to the eating of the breakfast. I think the same 5 stages repeat again. Me eating cereal, I get so angry when it's soggy. Some people like it, actually. I don't know. I have bad cereal takes sometimes. I've still got 15 seconds. I think Nutella is great and Vegemite is supremely overrated, and nobody can argue for another.
Okay. So I have so much to say.
Hold up, John. Before you speak, I just want to check. You guys actually eat breakfast?
What's breakfast?
So several things. Number 1, in the kitchen, straight up denying it, and by it I mean haha, my breakfast. Number 2, my complaining about the cereal being soggy. My brother in Christ, you put the milk in. Oh my god, how did it get soggy? It's literally the Subway sandwich meme, but for breakfast. Like my brother in Christ, why does the cereal get soggy? Just eat the raw cereal, Chris. Also, a little lighter. I honestly, like, breakfast is the least frustrating meal to make for me. It's so simple. Cereal, you put some cereal in, you put some milk in, unless you don't like it soggy, in which case you don't put the fucking milk in. Toast, you just get some bread, put it in the toaster, bam, it's done. You wanted some tea or some coffee, like, you could just, like, I don't know, you may have a coffee machine. You just, like, flick on the kettle, bam, easy. You want to, like, make a big breakfast, like, fry some stuff, you just literally chuck that shit on the pan, like, wait for 3 minutes, and, like, you're done.
3 minutes is unreasonable. But also, Chris, I'm with you. I feel those stages every time I have to eat. Like, 3 times a day.
Same here.
Every day. It's perpetual.
I 100% agree with Vegemite being overrated. I think it tastes absolutely foul, and I do not know
How do
why
we get to
it's
Vegemite?
a celebrated dish. Or
I think you
condiment.
said Nutella before.
I think you guys just aren't eating Vegemite right.
Also, I get so hungry so easily and so often, I've started, like, skipping steps, so I just go immediately to, like, grief and then acceptance. I'm just like, fuck, I'm hungry as
Skipping
hell.
steps is
Okay,
the
now I get
bargaining
to eat.
stage. You're trying to cut corners. You're trying to get around it.
Sorry for not being sad.
Party rocking?
Sorry for not party rocking.
That was your bit, John.
What?
Wasn't that your bit? In,
Prosh?
yeah.
I made that image for it, but I didn't come up with it. I was just
I-
looking at the file, being like, here's images we need. I'm like, I guess
I
I'll make
don't
this.
think Party Rocks.
And I
It
don't think we've
was.
had a real good time either.
In the house, straight up.
It's also
not
8
doing
a.m. in the
it,
morning.
And by it, I mean party rocking.
We in the house like carpet.
We should have done Party Rock Anthem in karaoke.
True.
We should just turn the
God,
podcast
if
into
David hadn't
karaoke. Let's
been
do
tired-
that.
You already turned 3 hours of the podcast into karaoke, please.
That was fun though.
Yeah, okay, but karaoke was popping off, okay? It made a decent amount of money, John. Fight me.
If David hadn't
In
decided
Minecraft.
to go home, he could, like, rehearse the entire persona.
Persona rap?
Yeah, because that's what from the quote, like, I'm in the house like carpet comes from.
I'm
To
in
be
the house
fair,
like carpet.
We could always get
I'm-
Ezran and
No, you
Jorja
said no
to do
karaoke.
Yeah,
Hamilton.
we're taking this away from you.
reciting. If we wanted, that is.
Is it karaoke? I think, like, you're just allowed to sing on the podcast, but, like, you can't. Look, we can do karaoke, but it has to keep recording.
Yeah.
Why we lift our voice.
That was actually so
And
mean.
here are my thoughts on
I
that.
meant, like. You know what? No, it doesn't get better.
But you're digging a hole.
I think this is just
You
the
have to leave
bullying
this in.
podcast.
Yeah, you do.
What did
You have
I
to leave my
do this
cuts
time?
my
I'm
apology
innocent.
out.
For a change.
Wait, no, Patrick, how much to cut?
$15.
But you're gonna keep the bit when you say how much.
No, no.
Have
no,
15
no.
whole dollars.
What we'll say is we'll cut something out, but we're not going to say what it is.
Straight up cut
$10.
in the podcast, and you're straight up cutting out it, and by it, let's say the.
Can I make you read Divergent again?
Huh? You can make me do whatever you want if you pay me enough money. This applies to everybody all the time.
But you're not
We're
getting
not
this money
paying
for
you the
charity.
money, bud. It's going to Live and Proud.
Really?
Yeah,
take
it's
10.
going to the gays. Thoughts?
Is it going to the girls, the gays, and what's that guy?
Me.
You know the fucking
Yeah, I know. No,
Who-
the
what's
girls
his
in
name?
Coleman.
Coleman. Yeah, the girls, the gays, in Coleman. You know that fucking meme?
Who's Coleman?
It's just like a fucking
It's
image
just
of
a
a
guy.
TikTok, which is like, hey guys, when you refer to the girls and the gays, can you include me in it? The girls and the gays and Coleman, thanks.
It's a TikTok. It's not a meme. You said it's a screenshot of a TikTok. That makes it a TikTok.
Yeah, but like I don't see people sharing the TikTok. I only saw people sharing the screen.
If you take a
A lot
photograph
of
of a
TikToks could just be screenshots.
Actually,
let's be
hang on.
real.
if you take a
I will
photograph
agree
of
with
a
that.
painting, is it a photograph or a painting?
It's still a photograph.
I'm gonna say painting, but only in the loosest sense.
Huh?
Hot take.
Huh?
I feel
Yeah,
like
there's a
causing
little
issues.
guy in the camera, Bryce. There's a little guy that paints.
Oh,
paints the fucking picture.
/accidental Discworld.
Wasn't that in
What?
Discworld?
No, because in Discworld, there's actually little people inside the camera who to make the picture really fast. That's how it works.
I'm glad that I did not invent that, because I was pretty sure it was in Discord something similar where they literally had that as an invention, and I was just like, oh yeah, that was cool.
What about? Is there an r/deliberate Discworld?
Yes.
I have no idea if that's actually a Reddit sub thing.
You just put r/ in front of it.
Yeah,
Sounds
I don't know. It sounds like a place that would.
Chat,
Happen.
is this real?
We can start it. Join us.
Yes.
Join us on this journey.
Join the UniSFA Reddit, which is just us making as many Discord
Wait,
references
does
as we
UniSFA have a
can.
subreddit?
Oh no.
We are going to in 5 minutes if John finds out that we don't.
I mean,
I
I
would
know
bet
Uni
money.
Games probably doesn't have one, but
Oh,
they
no,
did
not
in
Reddit.
fact they did in
Anything but
fact
Reddit.
populate
I
the
uninstalled
Norp
Reddit on my
community on Reddit.
I'll never forget the
Interrupting.
time that I accidentally found someone on I'm not gonna name names.
Someone.
Someone on Reddit and was immediately
Josh?
greeted to that's too much information about this person.
Patrick just winked at me and now I'm scared.
How much to remove the name?
All right, so there is not a r/uni, so there is not a r/uni games. There is an r/UCC.
Of course, there's an
Somehow I'm not surprised
r/UCC.
UCC has a Reddit actually.
Let's
Huh?
flood him with posts.
You didn't know this?
Let me.
I'm
It's not for the University Computer Club.
No,
let me tell you
no,
that.
it was,
It's the
and
uni-
now it's
What?
not. It
It's the
was
University
initially.
College Cork. Content must be related to UCC. Open bracket, the Irish University. Close bracket.
Oh,
I'm
You
pretty
need
sure
to- you need
initially
to
it
make an
actually
illegal
was for
post there
UCC.
immediately.
I don't want to get banned. What if I end up going to Cork College? That's closing a door.
no. You
College?
might say it's like
Have
closing the
more
bottle
study to do.
because it's cork.
You need more degree.
I don't know. That need more work.
Masters. Honors is like undergrad plus,
True.
or like baby PhD.
True.
So it's like how vice president is just an OCM plus.
I was gonna say more like fresher reps, like OCM plus. No, vice president's like.
No, here's the thing.
President. If president's a PhD, vice president is an honors.
John.
I
This
don't know enough to know if this is accurate.
It's
Okay.
accurate.
coming back to the UCC subreddit. Yeah, no, it was originally for this UCC.
And then they.
There
gave
is
it
still
over.
a post from 13 years ago.
What does it say?
I shit you not.
I bet it's gonna complain about like girls.
The
in the club room or
UCC,
something.
as much fun as you can have with your clothes on outside of UniSFA.
Taxi.
True.
John
I
caused
remember
an
that
incident.
line.
And the mod said this post will remain up due to how rare it is to find a 12-year-old post, and as a reminder of where the subreddit originated.
Holy shit, that's so cool.
Yeah. UCC.
UCC
The most fun you can have with your clothes on outside of UniSFA.
No, just the subreddit.
Camho was wild back in the day. Armenian marshmallow.
True.
UCC's turning 50, guys.
Don't eat
Come
a
to that
marshmallow on the
anniversary
podcast.
thing.
Yeah, we're moving the mic
September,
again.
I think.
How old is UniSFA Uni Games? Just out of interest now.
UniSFA turned 45 last year. We had our 45th anniversary. You should have been there, bud.
Unigames turned 40 last year. They had their 40th anniversary.
And UCC is 50 this year.
So,
Happy 50th to UCC.
this year, Unigames is 41, UniSFA is 46, and
Happy
UCC is
birthday
50.
to UCC.
Wait, no, isn't that one copyrighted?
Happy
Oh, no.
Can't possibly be true.
Legally,
I
no,
included
but
so
it's
many
in this
copyrighted
morally
songs last time.
dubious
Happy
area, basically.
Wait, no. Wait, no. Is that the reason why it got taken down on Spotify? Because I noticed the
We were
old
never on
podcasts weren't on
Spotify.
Spotify anymore. They were on Spotify.
We were
at the
never on
time.
Spotify. I never bothered to get it set up.
No. Like I'm serious. Some
immediate
of our
backtrack.
overheard in UniSFAs were on Spotify for a brief time.
That can't be real.
No,
Is-
I
Chat?
might be wrong.
Okay, what do you want me to look up on Spotify?
Okay, like
Hi,
I'm not sure.
The guy who
Maybe
made that
Finn posted it or
podcast.
something.
No.
Because I know
Patrick,
you
is it-
can't listen to them anymore. They've been
Pat-
grayed out.
Patrick, did you download them and then listen to them through Spotify? Because you can use local files in Spotify.
Are you tripping?
I think you may have downloaded them.
So today we're just learning about the legalities.
I think you're tripping.
Chat, this is not real.
This is not real.
If you give me like 5 minutes, I'm gonna do like a Google
You
search.
don't need to research this. It's not there.
This isn't real.
It's
Lies.
not there.
It
Research
is actually
varies.
there. I gorilla posted it. Lying. I'm lying.
Me when I purposely misread information.
I love to spread misinformation.
Okay, no, I was unknowingly spreading disinformation.
I'm just lying.
You didn't trust me?
Shock horror.
You didn't trust me.
People trust
Gary,
John.
stay out of this. You didn't trust me.
Oh, hi, Gary.
Oh, hi, Gary.
Gary, you don't want to
Sure.
be part
It
of
says
this.
bitch, but in like the Twitch font with the Twitch logo. Gary, do you want to pay $5 to be on the podcast? You said like one thing last time. I got to give you a. Did you listen to the Uncharted?
Oh,
Yeah,
Gary.
okay.
I think
I
it's actually.
wasn't sure what song to. I'm not a.
I think it's quite interesting your arrival actually, because we were just talking about old
So
UCC.
Gary is now joining us.
Gary, what would you like to say?
Really?
What do you have to say about the allegations,
Gary, would you like to introduce yourself? What's your name?
Gary, he, him.
And the numbers on the.
What you
grey
studying,
card.
bud?
The back few
Special
numbers on my card are 858.
That's so based.
Gary and his pronouns are Gary.
Gary. I was about to say a Fortnite reference. A Fallout reference.
Huh?
It's a Fortnite reference.
So what do you have to contribute to this podcast, Gary?
Oh, fuck all.
I mean, hey, more money for charity.
The
True.
cherry heads.
I'm actually surprised the amount of money my haircut raised.
How much did you raise just out of interest in the end?
136.
You should have answered that.
Genuinely?
Okay.
Shoo.
But it was really funny because some of the other likely competitors, I assume, like a mullet and a bowl cut, were removed.
Crying.
And so it was a battle between shaving it all off and looking like Walter White from
Walter.
Breaking Bad, which was championed by David Connor, and this current result.
What is your current hairstyle?
It's an undercut.
The sides are shaved.
Anyway, who championed that hairstyle? Who paid? Who paid?
Who asked?
Who paid?
Who else in the room has an undercut?
Oh, so true. Also, goddamn.
Chris.
all allegations of having?
I don't have
No.
a fucking undercut.
No.
I haven't.
Okay, the joke is that.
No, guys,
Seb
it's
has
obviously
the
Gary.
undercut.
Gary, how do you? I need to change
You
my
all
Discord status
secretly
to
have
Nidhogg winner.
undercuts.
Johnny asking how to change your Discord status.
No, I'm not. I'm saying I'm gonna change my server profile on UniSFA to reflect my Nidhogg champion status. Because I want undefeated in the Nidhogg tournament.
It was 100% rigged.
Agreed. You only played on the easy
I will not
map.
elaborate further.
Dare
It
I
was rigged to
say,
Pitt would've won.
Gary should have won.
Immediately after I came into UCC and said I lost, they printed out a label that said number 2 Nidhogg player and put it onto me.
Yeah, I think we all wanted
That's so
Gary to win
toxic.
secretly, just because John was being overconfident.
Yeah,
Nah.
well, I wasn't being overconfident, Bryce. I was being exactly the right amount of confidence.
That, but also, goddamn UCC, rip.
it's only overconfident
And you're
if I
on their
lose,
committee,
which
bud,
I didn't.
and this is how they treat you?
Do
The
you think?
disrespect.
Do you think you can get down a mug?
I mean, if you went to the right
Just
suburbs
like
at the
number
right
2
times,
Nidhogg.
that's what I'm gonna get you for your birthday, Gary. It's gonna be a picture of like a dead Nidhogg thing,
I can see the hate behind your eyes, Gary.
barely concealed
I'll buy that for
rage.
you. When's your birthday?
Gary is holding back the tears.
You can pay to shut him up.
So Gary just checked a
checked his-
empty wrist.
He checked his watch to find out the date, except he didn't have a watch on,
And
so he just
also,
checked
that's
his
not what
wrist.
a watch does.
No, yeah, that's the double joke. I mean, some watches have the rate.
Gary, would you like me to shut up, John?
So John mentioned earlier Minecraft factions.
Yeah, I didn't really play it that much because it was like kind of scary for me.
Well, factions was weirdly hard to get into. You either had like
Yeah, right.
Respectfully, shut up, John.
For how long?
That was a $2, so 5-minute, bud.
I'm gonna go piss again. No, I want to hear about factions.
Hush,
okay,
child.
so one of
Don't
my
listen
other
to him.
favorite things about Baldur's Gate 3.
Salad or $2 to shop.
I'm pissed. I loved factions. I'm gonna try and bring it back.
If I pay $2, how much are you gonna pay, Chris? Are you trying to unmute yourself?
What's this for again?
Yeah, what are we paying for? I'm so confused. Gotcha.
But also, this is so sad that John isn't here to just suffer for 5 minutes.
No. I respect. I mean, John's had a lot of time to,
Sleep? I don't know.
consider his future words.
So, Divergent 2, which is a big resurgence.
Bad series, crime.
Agreed. There's a reason the movies never got fully finished. They were ridiculously bad.
There's a reason there's no part 2 with the part 1.
Yes, because the books are terrible.
True.
I mean,
But
just because
13-year-old
it
me
says
ate
part
it
1
up.
doesn't mean there's gonna be a part 2. It just means that it is the first
Most
part.
of
It
the
might
time
be
there's
the
a-
But it
last
does
Tended to be
insinuate that there
sequel
will be
part.
at least a second to make up for the part 1.
No, okay. So by that logic, Chris, if I were to hand you a whole pizza and I'd say here's part of a pizza,
You would assume there's more.
Part 1 of the
Like,
pizza.
yes, you have given me the first part of the pizza. It just happens to also be the last.
No.
So, part 1 of the pizza is just the box. Part 2 is the toppings.
Is-
Part 3 is the base. You
Is
have to
the
assemble
whole of
yourself.
something not a fraction of that thing?
I'd just like to say, just because you got the first half doesn't mean you're getting the second half.
But you should. You get a whole thing.
Or if you're in the Halloween reboot, the third film is nothing to do with the first two. Because that trilogy went downhill so fast.
How did we get here?
So we
blame
silenced John, and then I started talking about Baldur's Gate 3, and
True.
then we
It's
started
such a
talking about
good game.
Divergent.
I could spend hours on character creation.
Character creation Baldur's Gate 3 is so good.
It's why I play The Sims. I just spend hours on character creation and then
Yeah.
I don't play the game.
There's a lot of recent games with really good character creation. I think some game
Do
developers
tell.
have forgotten, like, there's other parts of the game.
Mm.
Dragon's Dogma, I have not played, but I've heard people, like, it's the same scale of character creation,
Ooh,
apparently.
let's go.
I know Elden Ring was a big one for a while, and
Yes.
they've just kept upping it. Like, Elden Ring, and then you get Baldur's Gate 3, and now Dragon's Dogma. They're kind of going wild with it.
Slightly unrelated, but I know you're a Pokemon lover, Chris. What are your thoughts on Power World?
Okay. Okay, legally.
Here we go.
Legally undecided. I don't know if there has been a court case to decide whether Palworld is a ripoff of Pokemon. There are some designs that are questionable. That, like, I would call into question of being like, that is weirdly similar. But I think they're okay from a legal standpoint. I am not an expert.
Okay, unrelated question, but everyone in the podcast, what is your favorite and least favorite Pokemon?
Bryce, before we go into that, just tracking back to Baldur's Gate 3, is anyone here familiar with the YouTuber Rasputin?
No.
So,
Kind of. My
Rasputin
friends try and make me watch a
runs
few
a
times.
video series called, I can't actually remember the name. Anyway, it's a video where he has his wife, who has never played any video games whatsoever, start playing video games without that experience. And she actually didn't like the character creator in Baldur's Gate 3. The reason was because she could not customize her character, the face, the shape, or anything like that. And she was very disappointed by that. And I thought I'd sort of interject that and see what you think about that.
That's very interesting. You know what? I think that is actually a fair opinion. Varying options for some races in the game. Particularly, I think humans and elves have the most, but then there are definitely some races built into the game that have less options. There are, I think, only 4 male orc faces compared to the 6 to 8 for most others, for example. Or masculine orc faces. And there's half orcs and no full orc options. And the half orcs kind of look how previous Dungeons and Dragons media tend to be presented. So there's a lot of, like, definitely options that seem unintuitive for D&D itself. But then, yeah, I guess individually there aren't many options.
That's interesting. Would you say maybe there's some kind of prejudice going on there, perhaps?
It's because orcs are the bad guys. They're always the bad guys. There is no undertones or subtext to this at all.
Maybe they just lack imagination. And by them, I mean Larian.
Here's the thing. There are so many races in D&D that I don't think Larian could have done them all.
Aren't they called ancestries or something now? Is that Pathfinder?
In Pathfinder, I think they're ancestries.
What do they call them D&D now?
I don't know if they've changed it going into 1D&D. They have been called races. Sometimes they're called species, depending on what edition
I thought they
you're
changed
looking
it.
at.
Yeah.
I feel like species is a better word.
Races feels a little outdated, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a bit outdated. Kind of talking about a different context as well.
So I'm doing the Fresher campaign with Alistair, and we're doing Torchbearers, and I assume some of you are familiar with that. They, instead of using races, they use stock, which is a interesting choice of word. Also, elf is locked into ranger, and
That's so like
dwarf is-
classic
yeah.
RPGs.
dwarf is locked into adventure, I believe, and
What is this? World of Warcraft? Fucking hell.
humans can pick cleric, mage, or I can't remember the last one. I think it's fighter actually. Followed
Human
by
male fighter.
there is a halfling thief. Talk about being profiled.
It's just dungeon meshy, guys. It's fine.
So Alistair's a slaying GM. Have fun with that. He did Call of Cthulhu for my Fresher campaign. It was very G. His style is he likes to make a lot of the campaign up on the spot. Just roll with it. It's a fun time.
I was just gonna say, do you think we can make a Cam Hole Minecraft faction server?
Yes. I would be so down for that. You do not understand.
Unigames would instantly
Minecraft
destroy everyone else,
factions.
and then it wouldn't be fun anymore.
So the idea of Minecraft Factions is that it's a server in which people are kind of split up into teams. You can choose which teams you're a part of.
Yeah, it's kind of like a...
Cam Hall Minecraft has had like a few attempts of getting off the ground, and
Minecraft servers are difficult to sustain.
has had a tendency not necessarily to crash and burn, but to fizzle out.
That's just
a
what
little bit.
all Minecraft servers do eventually. Unless
Sometimes it crashes and burns, and sometimes it fizzles out.
just like all life. I didn't really play much faction because it was really hard to get into, especially as a kid. But like it was kind of like a it was based around like kind of like guild-esque things, if you're like in MMOs where you like join like a kind of guild, and then you like it's kind of like PvP focused, a bit like
You're kind of
bit like
simulating
Rust.
politics.
Huh?
You're kind of simulating politics in
Yes.
Minecraft in a way.
I imagine it's I think of it a bit similar to Rust, in which you have like people get into groups and build these big bases,
Yeah.
and then other people like raid their shit.
That happens a lot in factions.
I was so toxic when I was younger in factions because I'd join a faction, raid their base, and immediately leave. And I'd do it like 3 or 4 times before I started my own.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
So there's like rule number 1 of like a faction server is like don't screw over your own faction.
To be
'cause then
fair,
nobody
not
will want you in
inviting
their
sus
faction
people to your
anymore.
faction.
Okay, but why?
Because then nobody will want you in their faction anymore, because then you can't be trusted.
I did say it was toxic. Like, I will admit to that.
Fair enough.
I was like 12.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Well, I feel like Minecraft is older than it actually is. When I think like,
Well, it is. Well, how old do you think, man?
well, I mean, it feels like one of like the oldest games that I've played. But then I remember, no, it wasn't actually that long ago, comparatively, that I started playing it.
I don't know, man. Minecraft 1.0 was released 12 years ago.
I mean, yeah, it's been around for a little bit. You're also kind of young, and I guess grew
Young-ish, yeah,
up
I
with
guess.
that.
I'm gonna like basically drop my age a little bit here. I started playing Minecraft when the only version available was creative as a web browser.
Oh
app
yes,
that-
no. I think a lot of people started playing Minecraft like that. The web browser,
Yeah, the
which was
Java web
interesting
applet.
because they didn't have creative in the like paid game.
So,
Bef-
so the first version of anything other than creative was in dev, I believe, which then became inf dev, or maybe the other way around. It's really hard to remember because this is like a long time ago for me.
Yeah, so following up on that, in-dev and inf-dev. Okay, so I think this was just coming out of alpha before beta. You get in-dev, which is when basically they go, okay, we're going to start working on survival mode as like a concept, and then inf-dev is like, oh wait, there's limited world, does not make sense. So inf-dev is when they introduce the infinite, in inverted commas, world generation. And then you get into beta, and then people really like beta 1.7.3 nowadays for some reason.
Because it was before they introduced hunger and a lot of other things like that.
When did everyone start playing Minecraft? I think I did start playing in beta 1.7. Yeah, because my first upload was 1.8, which introduced creative mode.
I don't remember the version, but I remember it was just after my 10th birthday. It was only $20 to buy.
How old were you? Like, what year was it?
2010.
2010. Yeah, I was probably about the same time as me then. Probably like beta 1.7.
Yeah, I think I was about like 7 years old.
That definitely wasn't hunger when I started. Oh my god.
Back in my day.
Okay, I'm not that old.
I remember dying somewhere and like fucking losing all my shit and being so distressed. I was like, oh, shit, I couldn't remember how to get that back there. So I like desperately tried to like find out how to make a map because I'm like, this will show me where I can go. The map's blank, baby.
I think I first started with a browser port of, I think, the first version that was named Minecraft. Someone ported that to a browser. So, like, this would have been after, like, a couple of development versions. But since somebody ported that version to browser, I think it was still just dirt.
Surely there were trees.
But I think they got rid of the holes at that point.
Because it was very lumpy.
It was very lumpy and holy.
Holy. Oh, man.
Don't you laugh.
No laughing in the clubroom, guys.
No laughing. This is a serious matter.
Serious matter.
Patrick, are you okay, bud? You
I
seem
love when
quite
it's a serious matter. We all go British.
That's because
Patrick nods very eepily.
British very serious intentionally. They don't have comedy. I've never watched the Mitchell and Webb look in my life.
This is a take.
Yeah.
But I also don't disagree somehow.
I'd be interested to see what British James has to say about
He'd agree.
that word. You sure?
He'd agree.
No, British James would disagree, but he wouldn't argue.
So true. I missed British James. British James, if you're listening to this, come back.
Still around and kicking on Discord.
Sometimes
He just
I
joined
can
the
still hear
esports
his
server
voice.
recently.
Really? That's sick.
Yeah, no. I still play Helldivers with him a lot. Yeah, Helldivers, good game. I like it.
What about Helldivers 2?
Helldivers 2. I say this because I didn't play the original Helldivers, but it wasn't that long ago. 2016 was 8 years ago. I think that was when the first Helldivers came out.
But it wasn't that long ago.
The passage of time.
I might be completely wrong about that, by the way. But yeah, Helldivers 2. Really cool. Really silly.
So how about them apples? Apple.
Context?
I think that's something I said in when I was beating someone in Nidhogg, and it's just in my head now. I was like talking about I just got really into it. I'm like, have them apples, huh? You like those apples? Apples. As I was like beating them.
I saw on my YouTube recommendations that someone worked out how to make apples taste like grapes.
Does anyone ever have a really good... Okay, Seb, what's up?
That'll be Nile Blue, I believe. He also has another channel called Nile Red where he does unhinged science and chemistry stuff.
Hell yeah. Does anyone have like a really good apple sometimes and like, you know, the context is right or whatever, it's the right apple and it kind of tastes like Coke?
Are you okay? Do you
I
need
feel
help?
like a really juicy apple. Maybe it's just because of the amount of sugar in it.
I see how the lack of sleep has affected you now.
I'm serious.
God
my
forbid.
body...
5 hours.
I woke up and my body was like, what the fuck is this?
See, this
is not acceptable.
This is the anger stage before you eat your breakfast.
I had breakfast. I had like a bunch of cereal.
And now we've gone
And
back
was
to
it soggy?
denial.
Yeah, it was fucking hella soggy. It was drenched in milk.
It is very different when you've pulled
My
an
brother
all-nighter.
in
Is it
Christ, you
still
put the
called
milk in.
breakfast?
Yeah, I know. I like my soggy cereal with milk in.
Crime. Okay, not like crunchy cereal, but not like fucking.
It was like
not
granola
sopping wet
and
cereal.
muesli.
You know.
It was like granola and muesli. So like part of it stayed crunchy anyway. Like I mixed a granola and a muesli.
Yeah, I guess.
So question. If you've pulled an all-nighter, is it still called breakfast?
Depends on whether you define breakfast by the food or by the time you eat it.
This is one of my favorite, like, stupid argument topics of is, like, breakfast, lunch, and dinner based on when you have it relative to, waking up, or is it relative to the time? In my opinion, it's relative to the time, okay? Breakfast is, like, 5 a.m. to, like, 11 a.m.-ish, right? And then, like, lunch is, like, 12-ish to, like, 4-ish, maybe.
No.
Dinner is after that. Here's the thing, right? If you wake up at like 3 p.m. and you eat, I'm sorry, that's not breakfast. You skipped breakfast. You slept through it, buddy. You're eating lunch.
Then
like
what do
a
you
late
call it
lunch.
when I have dinner at like midnight?
You have dinner at midnight?
No, okay. If I wake up at 3 p.m., I'm having breakfast at like 3 or 4. And then I'm
No, you're not. That's like
and then
a
I'm
late
having lunch at like 6, and then I'm
That's
having
dinner.
dinner, or what I like to call dark lunch at around 12.
12 is like a Nubius thing. I could call that like second dinner, but I feel like it's not categorized. So like I'll accept dark lunch.
What if someone works night shifts? Then
Huh?
do they just always eat dinner for breakfast?
Yes.
So wait,
You have a
are we
bad
saying that
take.
people
So
who
here's the
work
thing,
night
right?
shifts
Imagine
start
you
with
work
dinner
night
and end with
shift.
breakfast?
But the rest of your family, the people who live at your house, don't, right? You wake up, they're having their dinner, right? And you are there at the same table eating a meal. No, you're eating the same meal. You're both eating dinner, baby.
Sorry, bud. I'm gonna give Ez the mic for a minute.
I'm right. I don't have anything else to say on the matter. I'm just right.
Oh, see, I'm a combination of both. Like, the first meal that you eat when you wake up is breakfast, and then the rest of it is relative to the time.
Doesn't only Ez can speak?
It is now just Ez for a minute,
I
by the
mean,
way.
it doesn't
bad.
have to be
Well-
exactly just me.
Fair.
It can be a group of people for a specific discussion.
Your options
So it
are
could be
mute
everyone but
everyone
John.
but you, or mute
Okay,
one
everyone
person
but John for a
specifically.
minute. Everyone but John for a minute. Sorry, bud. You have bad takes.
Yoink.
You may go.
Oh, that was pretty much it. So it's like you wake up, you have breakfast, and if it's 6 p.m., then it's dinner. Like,
Yeah,
the
but-
rest of it's relative to the time.
Okay, so say if someone had to start work really early, like 4 a.m., and they had to eat breakfast at 2, what would you classify that as?
Breakfast. It's the first meal of the day, it's breakfast.
Agree. First meal is breakfast.
And then the
Last
rest of the
meal is
meals are based
dinner.
on the time.
Lunch is if it's in the middle, but also you can have brunch, or you can have Luna, or you can have dark lunch, which are all
I like
important
dark lunch,
categories.
that's sick.
I
So
stole
wait,
Luna from my
Are
granddad.
we saying that breakfast is the first meal of the day from like 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. or from when you wake up?
It's
to
from
when
when you
go to
wake
sleep?
up. But if you stay awake the entire night, then it's just the first meal that you have when you feel like it's a new day. So if I ate a meal right now, that would be breakfast, even though I haven't slept.
So it's
Because it's a
basically
new day, the sun is up.
It's always 8 a.m. somewhere argument.
Kind of. Kind
It
of.
is breakfast from breaking your fast, or is that something that people have kind of put on it backwards?
I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Sorry, I just want to bring. I've raised a lot of money for charity with my takes. I want to go back to what Ash said, which is they said that the first meal is breakfast, and then the rest are based on the time, which is absolutely unhinged. You wake up at 4 a.m., have breakfast, you wait like 4 hours, and at 8 a.m. you have another meal, which according to your classification is also breakfast.
It'd be brunch
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah.
That's
I
second
actually
breakfast.
would say that that's true. That's more accurate than what I said.
No, the thing about brunch, by
That's
the way,
kind of
is
fair, though.
brunch doesn't fit into this classification system, I think. Brunch is more about the vibe and the food you're having than it is about the specific time.
We've
I
had
think.
one breakfast, yes.
So
What about second
inconsistent.
breakfast.
Okay, so if you don't have breakfast, you have brunch. Okay?
No,
No,
okay.
wait.
No.
If you don't have breakfast, you skip breakfast.
So if you don't have breakfast, but you have brunch, and then you have, I don't know, a late lunch or something, or if you have breakfast and you have
Well,
brunch,
depends
and
what
you don't have
time. What time are
lunch.
you having brunch?
I don't know. If, like,
At brunch time, what is that
At
time?
brunch time,
The thing,
so real.
the thing is, you can't really set a hard border of like when breakfast stops and when lunch
Yeah,
starts.
exactly. So
Ladies
it's
and
purely
gentlemen.
vibes.
No, just because you can't have a hard border
Boys and
doesn't mean
girls,
that there
currently
is no
speaking,
border.
I'd like to introduce Connor to give his opinion.
Hi, Connor.
You pay money.
The weird thing to me about this whole conversation is brunch to me is the only one that's time gated and has to be between like 10 and 12.
But
That's
not-
so
Agree.
But not
insane.
You're
Luna.
so valid. You're so valid.
I will accept that one.
That's all I have to
I
say.
can see the logic behind it, but I still disagree.
I think that
So
rigid
what would you
lines
call
about
the,
what a
mi-
meal
the,
is
the,
are bad.
the meal in between lunch and dinner?
What?
Is it
like,
lunch?
It's
No,
Luna.
it depends what
It's
time.
a cheeky snack.
It's Luna because that's the order that the meals are in.
We call it brunch and not.
Afternoon tea, yeah.
No, because that's a snack.
Also, I think
is a
I.
snack.
If you have a meal between lunch and
I
dinner,
might
like
dozed
It's
off
Luna.
the last
That's
15
not-
minutes.
that's eating a lot. Like it like depend. Like if it's like 5, if it's like what are the times here? If you're having like lunch at 1 p.m. and then dinner at 9 p.m. and you eat a meal at 6 p.m., that 6 p.m. meal is like dinner 1
How much food do you have to eat for
before
it
a
to go from
woodcut
being
could chop
a
wood.
snack, such as afternoon tea, as Ezran put it, to something that you might have for brunch?
It's intent.
So it's
Yeah.
intent.
It's intent.
So if
Intent
I
and also just like
intend to
it's
have-
Intent
context
and
dependent.
context.
Afternoon tea, in the same manner as I would brunch, then
Everyone
but
is
there's
different
morning
because a
tea
snack
as
for
well.
one person can
So
be a meal
brunch
for
and
another
morning
person.
tea are separate things.
that is a good point.
Agreed.
I will accept that.
Like a yogurt bowl, like a yogurt muesli bowl, like little cup could be someone's like breakfast, but for me that would be a snack because I eat a lot. I hope Chris just says no, that is not your breakfast, or that is not a snack for you.
So
You're-
according to Baldur's Gate 3,
yes,
you need precisely 40 food units in like normal mode.
Okay, Chris, define a food unit,
I
fucking idiot.
No, I think it's technically 40 camp supplies, and then you get a camp supply pack that has 40
Okay,
camp supplies.
define a camp
However-
supply pack
camping?
in like calories.
Let him cook.
Let him
However,
cook.
Let him cook
is-
what? 40 food units?
Camp supplies.
there is alcohol that counts for camp supplies, and you can camp and have a successful meal using only alcohol, which means we can quantify how much nutrition you need to have a full long rest in real life in terms of how much alcohol it converts
Chris,
to.
I
coming
mean-
onto the podcast and just
Alcohol without food will give you a long rest.
it might if you drink enough
I'm
alcohol without
hearing
my
is I'm
food,
right.
it might be a little too long. So
I do way too much TTRPG math.
it's for you, Chris.
Like you can convert through certain like modules how much a Minecraft Ender Dragon converts to in D&D trade goods.
If you crack the Minecraft Ender Dragon egg open, do you think the white is black and the yolk is purple?
To know this, I think we'd need to
Silence
know
was
the
so loud.
anatomy of an Ender Dragon egg. It's probably similar to like a lot.
Do you think
of
you can make like a
reptile
dark
eggs.
omelet for dark lunch?
I don't know.
Eggs
Did I
for
properly
lunch.
explain dark lunch? Because it's a very important concept.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
So
I'm
dark-
interested.
Dark lunch is something that I made up because I used to have a really bad sleep schedule and I also struggled with eating enough. So I made a rule for myself that if I wasn't awake to eat breakfast, then I had to have dark lunch, which is lunch, but it's dark outside because it's midnight.
It's midnight. So how much did you eat? Like, how's this different from midnight snack? Which is-
Because it's with the intention of a meal. And sometimes it's meal foods, and sometimes it would probably be more of a snack food. A lot of the time it was toast, which can go either way.
Yeah,
But, like,
toast
the
is like
The
so
intent
versatile.
is I need a meal.
Yeah.
Because I haven't had a meal in
Midnight
too
meal.
long. And I have only had 2 meals today. It's the one that brings you to 3.
At midnight in the house, straight up eating it. By it, I mean haha, dark lunch. I mean haha, toast.
How much would it be to remove every time that John made a it, by which I mean
I think it's one of the
I
only
think it'd be
successful
funnier
jokes
if you
we've
just
had.
censored like the thing I'm referring to. So I just say like in the beep, straight up beep, beep it, and
How
by
much?
it I mean haha
Oh.
beep.
how much, Patrick?
Name your price.
I don't know. I just feel like it's actually a somewhat successful joke, and otherwise we'd be rambling on a little bit too much.
It would be so funny.
That's
though.
right. These jokes were successful.
Someone doesn't want to edit.
Okay, Connor, you have a question? Did you pay for... Connor, you have a question? Yes, see, I may have been, as Garth Marenghi put it, betwixt sleep and wake during that time, so...
You were just eepy.
Yeah,
Ask your question.
Give him the mic.
Okay, John. If dinner has to be at nighttime, basically, or like late arvo, can girl dinner be at any time?
No, I guess
You
it
ask a
was
man.
because I think it's
Girl
important to protect
dinner.
people, to stand up for people like you did for me. That's what Dauntless is supposed to do, right? That's what courage is, not hurting people for no reason.
Can we ask a girl this question, please?
I thought it was important to ask John because his takes.
This is a
I
very
agree,
male-dominated
are
podcast.
I did not agree with your time-gated things. I just wanted to know.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm certified to like
Okay, at
say
everyone
things about
else.
girl dinner. I feel like
Didn't
it's
you say it circumstances that you were?
yeah. I have complicated thoughts because I see people online like it's just stereotyping again, guys. Like, please stop putting in gendered things.
Girl math. Because
Like
girls can't do regular math. I also love girl math, though. I use it every day.
Girls can't do anything, apparently.
Forbid a woman do anything.
forbid
Men.
women do
Forbid.
math.
I'm sorry, I stole Sev's bit. I got Jess.
I was literally about to say the exact same thing.
hey, you pay money. You can say that bit instead.
Okay, so I've done the math, and one Minecraft
What
Ender
sort
Dragon,
of math, Chris?
one Minecraft Ender
Demi boy
Dragon
math.
egg does convert to 5,000 goats.
So would it be Christmas?
As in the animal?
Then.
Okay,
Sorry,
so this
sorry.
is using D&D trade goods because D&D released
Yeah,
an
but
official
Minecraft
document for certain Minecraft mobs with an official in-game
I
price.
fucking
of
hate
dragon egg.
that.
That is some
I
real
hate
girl
that
dinner
with
right
a
there.
passion. I fucking despise that, guys.
It's nerd
No,
math.
I mean, it means we can convert one dragon egg to 5,000 goats.
Okay,
If you
yeah.
have 5,000 goats,
Yes,
you
with
can get the
inflation,
best
becoming
omelet of your
maths.
life.
Cam Hall maths coming to you from Cam Hall.
The goats lay eggs. Can you make a goat omelet?
Yes. Somehow, yes.
Are eggs dairy? Discuss.
Bryce,
Do not lay eggs.
Thrown on the podcast. Goats, in fact, lay eggs, guys.
Are you sleep deprived, or is this just a bit? Because I'm
Goats
concerned,
do,
bud.
provide milk in some cases, but
Yeah, they gotta milk the egg.
In my
I don't
defense,
think this.
John asked the
Where is the
question,
tit
I
on
think
an
we should
almond,
answer
liberals?
fair.
I just like to say, Bryce, don't let your dreams be dreams.
Milk and egg today.
Riddle me this, Batman. Where was the tit on an almond?
Riddle me this, Batman.
Egg
How
with
many
boobs?
eggs does a goat lay? 0. That's how many chances you have left.
At least one egg, according to Brian.
I think we
It
can.
is
You can
for
tell
something
we're all
like
tired.
500,000
At least 3
pounds
eggs.
of wheat, so like I don't know.
Oh my god, it's 8:59.
Are we gonna do final remarks? I love final remarks.
No.
Ends there. How much for that?
Honestly, I think final marks 5 out of 7.
What did we lose marks for?
What?
5 out of 7.
What did we lose marks for?
I think
Why didn't we
none
get a
of this
perfect
is
score?
worth
What did
it.
we get
Well,
wrong?
you see, he died.
I think it cut off after.
And
Mark?
John decided trying to gate the mute after and take control
I'd just
of the
like to
mic while
say-
being muted.
I will add money to that, but I can move Noah around in the podcast at any point.
That's
It's just
a
so
10-second
don't do
podcast.
I
that.
will make the podcast end at no, but
First
I will
second
not
is just
let
the word
people...
no, it ends immediately.
No,
can
can
I-
end
can
up
we do-
anywhere.
Chris,
love-
Chris,
I love-
Chris, no, don't do it.
Can we do
don't do it,
final
buddy.
I'm not
remarks?
taking this deal. This feels like a deal. With
Devil,
Chris,
don't do it.
Chris, do you want to give the first final remark? Because I like it when everyone goes around and says one thing and then we end.
This is actually Patrick just trying to not have to edit it so we can move Chris's note at the start of the podcast and then it's over.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, delete.
Wouldn't you, bud?
Easy as.
Easiest edit ever.
Shortest
Easiest podcast
So we have two
ever.
versions: the director's cut and the naked. Director's cut is just no end of podcast.
Theatrical release.
The official release.
I'm
is-
willing to pay $20 for a director's cut.
Honestly,
Okay.
we
Uploaded
had
separately?
10 and
Charity,
make
buddy.
it 2 versions.
Uploaded separately?
Yeah. No, because there will be 2 links. The first link will be director's cut, which
And
will
the
be,
second will be a.
and then there'll be the
I
actual.
think we
full
need a
release.
final cut as well.
Yeah. That's what I mean. There'll be
That's too
several
many
cuts.
cuts.
There'll be 3 cuts. So there'll be
Oh,
theatrical
I've got a
release.
moth on my hand.
Yeah.
Theatrical release Europe. Director's cut, final cut.
Patrick, can I suggest releasing the no podcast first, no context, no answers, and then someone will say just do the proper one. So it's like just a mess of people. They have no context for what we've now
I think
done.
the theatrical
No.
release Europe should just be like the bit where
I'm
it's
gonna take it
written up
further.
funny.
I'm gonna take it further.
Now officially gone over.
I'm going to
They're technically
officially.
not
How
Europe
am I not
anymore.
Yeah, that's what I
surprised?
mean.
I'm going to take it further, and I'm going to
your
give
picture
every
up there.
UniSFA member a personalized version of the podcast,
Oh my god, yes.
edited for only them.
Crime.
Only for only them.
Patrick,
Crime.
We have over 100 members. You want to take that?
Gary
back?
just
Wanna
just
take
refer
these back
just
to
liken
that
this to
right now?
NFTs.
There's no way you can prove it though. So you could just release 10
No, we put it on the
versions and suddenly
blockchain.
edit the order of events.
We put it, guys.
No, I would
this
action item
podcast
him.
will become
Action
an
item
NFT.
him in a meeting. Make sure he actually gets it done.
I
We
think
have to
every minute of this
unionize.
podcast should be
Patrick
a
has to
separate
release 100 plus
Okay.
podcasts.
But for
Community
real
must
though,
now hold Patrick accountable.
I will think.
I do, but I do.
You do things? Whoa.
Sorry, hang on. I am sleep deprived, don't you
Patrick
know?
does stuff.
Hey Chris, I'm
Oh
John.
my god. No, that didn't even make it into the cut. You didn't even speak into the mic.
High sleep deprived.
No, it'll make it. Just so if you select it, you can
No.
increase the amplitude. And it'll make it louder.
Okay, so I am appreciating gimmicks. That's what I was going to say. I am encouraging gimmicks on what the Europe version of this podcast might be.
I think the European version should have
As well
like
as the cutscene at the end.
the
which
cuts.
actually
The
changes
cutscene
whole
should
meaning.
be the
Cutscene is just a hypercut of every Divergent quote.
Oh, we need
severely
a
out of
fucking extended
context.
cut. We need the extended cut, which is like you
No,
don't
no.
cut anything.
No,
'Cause
the
usually I
extended
would like
cut
cut
will have this.
silences and like bits where the mics weren't working and
This
stuff.
is in the extended cut.
Yeah, no.
We're in it
everything's
right now.
The extended cut is just the
post-credit
unedited version
scene
of this
is
entire
just-
We
thing.
haven't even finished the podcast.
So,
I know.
don't see the problem.
That's what makes it so
Can we do
exciting.
final
Could we
remarks?
maybe go back from our detour and finish the podcast?
Final remark. This was utter chaos.
Look,
Yeah.
No, it's just
future
regular
Patrick
chaos.
several days from now is gonna look back and think, "Fuck."
Several days? Fuck, you're getting on it quick. It took me like
Yeah.
2 weeks last time.
Well, I don't know.
I
Whenever I,
think
decide
Patrick's
to
going
do
to
it.
regret letting us go over. I'm making that prediction now. Patrick is going to be really annoyed over it.
It's
having
like kind
to
of
do all
with
this.
the editing, you kind of just you can do as much or as little as you want. Usually, I just like listen through it. I cut out some of the silences.
This really
I,
feels like a post-podcast
Yeah.
conversation, guys. I'm gonna be real with you.
No, this is fine.
Hmm.
Okay, what was my final remark
12
gonna be?
hours later.
Thanks for having me.
Anyway, guys, let's get back to final remarks. Chris?
Oh, I
Chris
think
says thanks
just
for
said
having me.
the final remark.
Second final remark. No thanks for having me.
Patrick? Or Shmoney?
I think we go clockwise.
Shmoney?
James Taylor, come back. We miss you.
Bryce.
Who's James Taylor again?
My brain is too smooth, like the moon.
Patrick, I will hold you accountable for editing this podcast. I swear to God.
How the hell did we yap for over 2 hours?
Okay, so you're gonna. I would recommend. Don't tell Michael to break up with Clarissa. Don't let. What's the guy's name? Don't let your stepbrother talk to his mother, and basically just don't tell Michael what to do. And don't let Jonas talk to his mother. That's my advice for Oxenfree.
I'm going to fucking destroy John at Nidhogg next year.
So real.
And other lies.
I can't believe I didn't finish the first act of Path of Exile during this.
And Patrick.
My final quote. It's kind of fucked up how there are like 1,000 Christmas songs, but only one song about the boys being back in town.
Very true. Goodbye, everybody.
I'm turning off the. Yeah,
Oh
right.
my god.
How about the weather, eh?